We're live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we are on Love 99.5 FM affiliate across Ghana's 16 regions. We are on Lonlonyo FM in Hohoe, A1 Radio, Dreams FM in Bogatanga. We are on ATL FM in Cape Coast. We are live on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. We are on myjoyonline.com. The Midday News is sponsored by Petrol Sol. Your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Sol is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duro Plus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with the level indicator. Where Dura Plus goes, water always flows. It's a day of love, but no love from President Akufo-Addo as he removes Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, Ambrose Derry, Amoakwata Agyemang-Manu and others in a brutal government shake-up.
Honourable members, the nominations are accordingly referred to the Appointments Committee for consideration and report.
We have details also. Bernard Okoboy, Sylvester Tete and others also appointed in a reshuffle that also saw all MPs who lost their primaries except the Public Enterprises Minister relieved of their positions. But it appears there is more to come. We'll walk you through the list plus reactions pouring in thick and fast already. The NDC says this is a little too late.
This is a president who has not been responsive, who has waited too long, and it is so late in the day. I don't see 10 months what this reshuffle will achieve. The harm has been caused already.
Stay with me for reactions. Also this afternoon, hundreds of students forced to sleep on the floor at Wesley Girls High School due to overcrowding and congestion.
Even with the introduction of a new house, hundreds of girls are seen sleeping on the floor. This problem also pushes us to eat our meals in 2 batches.
Wesley Girls High School Cape Coast looks beautiful. Meanwhile, all that glitters, they say, is not gold.
We'll get to hear from the senior girls prophet and the headmistress pleading for a special guest, President Akufo-Addo, to come to the school's aid. Also, water crisis hits Tamale as residents resort to unhygienic sources of water for their daily activities.
Even those around Kapayili, which is in the town itself, are not having water.
We also have sports.
Hundreds march in Save Ghana football demonstration seeking reforms over the declining state of the sport.
We have details of that and also exchange of gifts and chocolates still in vogue on Valentine's Day. We explore the special day as some vendors lament low Valentine sales.
Yes, I chocolate.
Market has been slow. Yesterday, they bought quite a number, but this morning hasn't been encouraging at all.
This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Please do stay on for details. I am Emefa Apau. Many thanks for your company, and today is Valentine's Day, a day set aside to show love. But President Akufo-Addo has been selective in his show of this particular love. This morning, he removed the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in a major ministerial reshuffle announced in a statement. Now, approximately 13 current ministers of state, including 10 cabinet ministers and 2 regional ministers, have been affected by the shake-up. Following the reorganization of the government, President Akufo-Addo has submitted to Parliament for prior approval the names of some individuals for appointment as ministers and deputy ministers of state by the Constitution. Here's the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbing, making the announcement.
Reassigned ministers. I am also writing to inform you that the following ministers and Minister of State have been reassigned to new offices with immediate effect. C. Ministers of State. New designation. Minister for Finance. Name. Honorable Mohammed Amin Adam, MP. Ministry. Interior. Honorable Henry Korte, MP. Minister for Roads and Highways. Honorable Francis Asensu-Boakye, MP, Minister for Works and Housing, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, MP, Minister of State, Office of the President, Honorable Ambrose Derry, MP.
Well, that's Alban Bagbing, Speaker of Parliament, in that announcement earlier. Now, let's go through the list. And thankfully, also, I've been joined on the phone by governance expert, Professor Bafo Ajimandria. We'll get his reaction shortly here on the Midday News. But Presidential Affairs Correspondent Elton Broby joins me in studio. Elton, let's go through the list. But before then, I know that there's a background to this. President Akufo-Addo was in a long meeting yesterday. Let's talk about the backstory.
So, yesterday, he met all the ministers, those who have been removed from government and those who are incoming. There was some sort of a cabinet retreat, if you like, and he explained his actions to them. That's what we've been told. The reason why he will no longer be able to go with them this year, especially. The finance minister, the roads minister, all of them were there. Now, we are also being told that some of them actually went to the president to tell him that because of health reasons, they were unable to continue as ministers of state. Okay. So it wasn't a case that they have been removed outright, but they made a point that they cannot continue to serve as ministers because of health and other reasons. So that we are told happened. And then after the president met with all of them, those who are going out and those who are coming in, told them the reason why they are being brought in at this very crucial hour and what is expected of them. Okay, now let's go through the list. So the statement that came out said that the president has relieved the following ministers and deputies of their portfolio. So we have Ken Ofori-Atta, Minister of Finance, Interior and Bosderi, Health, Kwaku Agyeman-Manu, Environment, Dr. Kwaku Afiye, Information, Kwaku Opon Nkrumah, Roads and Highways, Amwakwata, Francis Asensu-Boakye, Works and Housing, Gender, Lariba Abudu, Dan Boche, Local Government, Sanitation and Water Resources, Frida Prempeh, Tourism, Art and Culture, Ibrahim Mohammed Awar, Greater Accra Region, Henry Korte, and of course, Oti Region, Joseph Makubu. So this is the first statement that came. And then the Deputy Ministers, Fatih Abubakar, Collins Team, Amapoma, Boatin Communication, Health, Tina Mensah, Mohammed Sey Saini, All Health, Works and Housing, Abulai Abanga, Western Natural Resources, Last National Benito Usubio, Fishes and Aquaculture, Moses Anim, Energy, William Orekwedu, and Wejepa Mesa, Education, Gift to Chuman Pofo, and of course, Employment and Labor Relations, Bright Reku Brope. And then goes on to say that these individuals have also been appointed as Ministers of State. Health, Honorable Dr. Bernard Okoboy, current CEO of the Health Insurance Authority, Ophelia Mensah Hayford, MP, now designated for Environment, Science and Technology. Information, the Deputy Minister elevated to Minister of State, Fatima Abubakar, at the Ministry of Information, Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Dakuwa Newman, Local Government Decentralization and Rural Development, Martin Najema Sakosa, Sanitation and Water Resources, Lydia Seram Al-Hassan, moving from Deputy Whip in Parliament to now Minister, Tourism, Art and Culture, Adwejepa Mesa, MP, from Deputy Energy to now Tourism, Greater Accra Region, Titus Glover from TOR, and then to Greater Accra Region, and Daniel Matato Oti Region. And then there's also another list that contains the names of deputy ministers designated, and it's a tall list, Emifa. Okay, well, stay with me, Elton, because I know you're picking up a lot in terms of the imminent shake-up in Parliament as well, and within the party hierarchy as well. And of course, the composition of the Vice President campaign team. Okay, stay with me, Elton. Let me bring in Professor Bafo Ajimandria. Thank you so much for your time here on the Midday News. So you've been looking through the list, and I'm sure you saw this coming as well. But is it as exciting as expected?
Oh, not at all. Thanks for having me, as you say. Not at all exciting. This is too little coming too late. I'm sure most people say the same. So it is going to impact on government. With barely months to go and the campaign about to start in by June, I'm not sure what these new appointees will do to make it. So for me, maybe
Oh dear, Professor Ajimandia, it appears that I'm having a little, interruption in your telephone line. I would ask my producers to reconnect that line. If you could reposition yourself, and then we can have Professor Bafo Ajimandia, and we have a terrible connection to him. And Elton is still with me in the studios. I'll go to our parliamentary affairs correspondent also. There's some reactions coming in also from Parliament. We've been hearing from the minority also on this. But let me try again if I have a better connection to Professor Bafo Ajimandia. Hello, Prof.
Yeah, I hear you.
Much better now. So you were saying
Good.
that it's a little too late, not exciting?
Yes, not exciting because the time that the public was very anxious for such a policy change, the president, for some reasons, was very unresponsive. And I think so far what he's done is not going to make much difference. We left with about 10 months. And with the 10 months, I don't know for sure what these new appointees are going to do to make a difference in governance. So for me, whilst it's important only in the sense that at least the president will go on record as having reshuffled his government. Beyond that, there's nothing significant about this announcement.
Not even the axing of Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta.
Well, everybody expected that some time ago. His own party parliamentarians rebelled because of the finance minister. He promised them he would do so after the IMF program was concluded. The program was concluded, it went by. So I'm sure those parliamentarians who were even asking for his action, I'm sure they are not even smiling now.
Well, Professor Bafo Ajimandia, it's just started, and I'm sure along the line we'll still come back to you for more reactions to this particular reshuffle. And you've already heard that it's not as exciting as he was expecting. That's Professor Bafo Ajimandia. But let's get, we are told that there's some mixed reactions to the announcement in Parliament. And my colleague, Kweku Asante, is in Parliament for us and joins us on the line. Let's talk about how the House received this particular news of reshuffle, Kweku.
Well, when the Speaker of Parliament announced that on the floor, it led to some debate with the leadership of the minority side saying that this was just really much ado about nothing. I caught up with some NDP MPs who are really saying that they think that the changes are late in coming and that no impact will be made in the government.
Well, we'll be hearing from some of them, though, but I'm sure you've been chasing some of them who've been appointed, at least the new appointees who are also MPs in Parliament. Have you been able to get a word from them, and what's been their reaction?
Well, very few of them are around. I've only seen Sylvester Tete who have come around, and a number of them are currently not in Parliament as we speak. Some of the ministers who have also been dismissed have come in. I've seen Frida Prempe, who has been released of a post as deputy health minister. Some of them have come in, and we are trying frantically to get their responses to it. But while the Speaker of Parliament read that on the floor, you could see drawn up faces. The excited ones who are coming in and those who have been released of their posts just really sitting there.
Okay, so that's my colleague Kweku Asante giving us reactions from Parliament. But already we've been hearing from the member of Norton, a member of Parliament for Norton, Samuel Okujetua Blakwa, and his colleague Kwabda Kando. They say the changes will not affect the performance of the government.
I mean, honestly, it's a little too late. Many Ghanaians had expected that this non-performing team, which has delivered the worst economic crisis in living memory. I don't recall any time in our history that we've had to go through financial haircuts, a domestic debt exchange program, that we have been declared bankrupt, that all the rating agencies from Moody's to Fitch to Standard & Poor's have all downgraded us, giving us junk status. I mean, we've defaulted. You look at every sector. I mean, you take the health ministry, for example. I mean, Kweku Ejimamenu has been indicted by Parliament. A bipartisan committee, declared him, guilty with the Sputnik V scandal. You have members of Parliament in an unprecedented move on the ruling party side, all coming together. And at a point, you had a majority leader say that now all of them are ad idem, that the finance minister should go. To put it mildly, what really do you expect in this, dying hours under a lame duck president? This is a president who has not been responsive, who has waited too long, and it is so late in the day. I don't see 10 months what this reshuffle will achieve. The harm has been caused already. The Ghanaian people have made up their mind.
If you look at the reshuffle they have done, it's not about the good people of this country. It's about elections. If you could see through it carefully, you realize that those who have lost elections will get away, to give way to those who have won primaries to go and contest the elections, just to enhance their chances in their constituencies. It's not really about the people of this country. How many months left to go? It's about 9 months. What are they going to do? Absolutely nothing.
So you hear there, Kwabena Minta Kando and also Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, their immediate reaction to this. I've been talking about how President Akufo-Addo has not shown love to some of his ministers on a day of love. But one person that has been shown a lot of love today is Martin Ejai-Mensah-Kossa. He was a deputy local government minister, and today he's been gifted the top job as the local government minister now. Mr. Ejai-Mensah-Kossa, thank you so much for joining us here on the Midday News. I know it's not a new terrain for you, but are you ready for the big job and the responsibility comes with? But first, maybe I should say congratulations are in order.
Thank you very much, Emifa. Thanks for the opportunity, and happy Valentine Day to you, your crew, and your listenership.
Thank you. And I'm asking about the terrain.
I've noted the views expressed by the earlier speakers, and I beg to differ. Emifa, governance is a process. You have a president who drives the vehicle and is exposed to all kinds of information, observations, and so on. At a point where he feels that another effort is needed to come and complement what has been done, he does so. I mean, as recent as Monday, I had calls for a reshuffle in this country from various quarters, including some of our friends on the opposite side. And so to say it is coming way too late, when as recent as Monday there were calls for it, I tend to be a bit surprised. But the most important thing is, even if you have 9 months to elections, governance is a process. Before that period, the wheels of government must run, and the Ghanaian people must benefit in terms of upliftment in their lives, and a smooth sail of governance.
Well, with a number of months left to go, Mr. Ejai-Mensah-Kossa, would you say that this particular change would actually give us any impact of a sort, you'd say?
It would do a lot of impact. That's what I'm saying. Governance is a process. The one who is in the driving seat feels at a particular time, I need to make changes, move this person here, do this, bring in this effort to complement this, and so on and so forth. And that is what I am seeing here. There could be a time where people wished reshuffle ought to have happened. He may have felt that no, MFA being here for me is delivering. It gets to a point where he feels MFA now has to move here or give way for another to come. Those may not be known to us. And so from the outside, you may see it quite differently. All these views are welcome, but I think that we cannot say that the reshuffle will not make any impact just because we are 9 months to election. Okay. Before then, governance must go on.
Yeah, definitely will go on, but it appears you're ready for the top job.
Well, we are in service to Mother Ghana, and we just have to continue and finish so that breaking the 8 becomes a reality and the good governance can continue.
We are grateful and congratulations once again. That's the local government minister designate Martin Ejai-Mensah-Kossa, and we are seeing that Dan Butchie is no longer in the government, but there's something else that Elton will tell us about where he's going next amongst others. But let me bring in the head of our political desk. We've been looking forward to this for some time now. Evan Spencer, is this the list you were expecting?
Well, yes, I mean largely. And one of the biggest expectations was who was going to occupy the finance minister's slot. And we had again predicted that it was going to be Mohamed Amin Adam. But I'm learning that since that was made, in fact, since he was told and since the finance minister himself was told, between the period that happened, in between that period, there were people, of course, who had objected to that. But he is really the most qualified for this. And that is what we've seen transpire. The key question really is what becomes of Ken Ofori-Atta, considering that there were people in government and in party who believe somebody else should occupy the finance minister's role. It is the most prominent, the most significant change under this particular government. And I'm also getting clarity that for him, As you know, he's a minister of state. He's just been promoted to become the substantive minister. Thankfully, he's not going to be vetted because his appointment takes immediate effect. And from what I understand, he's raring to go. We're waiting now to get a sense of, Ken Ofori-Atta has his own people in the finance ministry. People he had brought in to work with him. Would he work with them, and what will happen to them? This is pretty significant seismic shift, and it also goes to show that the president is shifting people around to give Dr. Bawumia a second chance in elections, because Mohammed Amin Adam is everybody knows, is a loyalist when it comes to the vice president.
Okay. And I know you've heard the head of our political desk. He tells you that we are all over this for you. On the polls at 3 p.m., Elton Brobe will be taking us through more. We'll get more reactions. Also on Top Story at 5:30 with Evans Mensah. If there's a day you don't have to miss Top Story, it is today. You stay with us on that. Also on myjoyonline.com, we have all the details for you. But Elton, the shake-up also imminent in Parliament. And then the party hierarchy amongst others, the issues about campaign teams and all that. Take us through it.
So there's a reason why Damboche's name is missing from this list, and the reason is that we know that the vice president, who is also the flag bearer of the NPP, this week will also announce his campaign team for the election 2024. Damboche, we are told, will be made a campaign manager for the Bawumia 2024 presidential ambition. Will be assisted as campaign coordinator by Kwabena Ejepon. So these are the names that we are picking. Campaign spokesperson is Miracle Abuaje. These are the names and this is the reason why Damboche's name is missing from this ministerial is that the president has communicated to Parliament. And in Parliament, it is interesting that there's no mention of the foreign ministry, even though we are aware that the foreign minister is campaigning to be elected as general secretary of the Common Secretariat. Now there is a claim that Oseche Mensah must be moved to the foreign minister. What we are picking that this is just the first phase of this reshuffle exercise. More names will be dropping in the coming days. There's going to be a reshuffle also in the leadership front of the MPP in Parliament, but that will be done in the meeting with the MPP leadership today, and after that there will be some announcement regarding how the majority leadership will look like going forward.
And it appears that meeting is already underway on that, and we have our ears and eyes on that for you. It looks like we need to take a quick break here on the Midday News and digest it all. We are live on Joy 99.7 FM, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. We are on affiliate across Ghana's 16 regions, and when we come back from the break, hundreds of students forced to sleep on the floor at Wesley Girls High School due to overcrowding and congestion.
Even with the introduction of a new house, hundreds of girls are seen sleeping on the floor. This problem also pushes us to eat our meals in 2 batches.
Wesley Girls High School Cape Coast looks beautiful. Meanwhile, all that glitters, they say, is not gold.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
GoTV is stepping up your entertainment from the 15th of January at no extra cost to you. If you are on GoTV Value, upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Already on GoTV Plus? Upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. And if you are on GoTV Max, upgrade to GoTV Super to enjoy the best of the best on GoTV Super Plus. Don't wait. Step up your entertainment today. It's on us. GoTV. Love it. T's and C's apply.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports.
Yes, MFA. So hundreds of Ghanaians are currently at the Independence Square for the Save Ghana football demonstration over the declining state of the sports. Now, protesters are calling for significant reforms in football governance to revive what they describe as a dying industry. They plan to march on to Parliament to submit their petition. Here is one of the conveners, Patrick Osei Ajiman, who earlier spoke to Joy Sports.
When you don't have blasters functioning well, meaning that your local football is not well, and also the junior national teams are also not functioning well, it's the same thing. Now we can't qualify for under 17, even the African Cup, let alone the World Cup. But we used to be world champions when it comes to under 17 football. So when you are not taking care of the local league, well, that is also a problem. Blasters is not competitive because we don't have confidence in our local players to play. Even when you call a local player and players are not there to even play. The local league is bad. The national teams are off too. Football is all about results. You are doing football and there is no results. We are not seeing results. We are not seeing any titles. We are not seeing any cups. We are not seeing any progress. The grassroots is so bad.
That's Patrick Osei Ajiba, and there'll be more on sports today on the Joy News channel at 2 p.m.
A lot happening on a day of love, I guess. Well, thank you very much, Mubarak. Now, the prestigious Wesley Girls High School finds itself entangled in a terrible situation as hundreds of girls are compelled to sleep on the floor, highlighting the severe overcrowding and congestion issues plaguing the school. At the recently held 187th speech day, head girl Abina Benewa Deborah shed light on the stark reality faced by students who are grappling with restricted living conditions due to inadequate infrastructure.
From the tiny inconveniences to the deep and large potholes which hinder our progress, we have learned as a school to endure. But I ask myself, must we suffer when we can seek help? In light of this, I would like to bring to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, some of the problems we face as a school. The inadequacy of furniture seems to be a challenge that is beginning to persist. The moments in which we gaze upon our sisters who must use plastic chairs in their classrooms and lack the tables to even comfortably write on cannot but hold our broken hearts. Again, the inadequacy of computers is far below the standard our dear school has set for herself. With the library having only one working computer and the ICT laboratory having only 2 working computers, to serve a student population of over 3,000, it is not far-fetched to say that we are struggling. Overcrowding seems to be a problem trying to develop tough skin in every corner of our dear school. Even with the introduction of a new house, hundreds of girls are seen sleeping on the floor. This problem also pushes us to eat our meals in 2 batches. And even with that, the dining hall seems to be overflowing during meal times, causing unbelievable congestion.
And the headmistress also, Jeanette Ruby Siame, indicated that despite consistent help from old schools, the school continues to reel from varying challenges. And I must add, they were speaking directly to President Akufo-Addo and the Education Ministers at the speech and prize giving day.
Wesley Girls High School, Cape Coast, looks beautiful and appears to be well endowed in terms of facilities. Meanwhile, all that glitters, they say, is not gold. Under the cloak of outward beauty lie a grave bed of dire needs. I will mention just a few. The new assembly hall, Your Honor, needs to be completed. Then again, Your Honor, our bus, you have promised us. Then I will add the pickup. Your Honor, Your Excellency, we simply need a proper facelift for our road network. Instead of patchworks, Wesley Girls High School deserves a befitting asphalted road network.
But unfortunately, there was no direct response to these calls by the head girl and also the headmistress by President Akufo-Addo or the Education Minister. Now, it's always been a special day for lovers and families to rekindle their affection, friendship and admiration for one another. Valentine's Day in Ghana is marked largely with sharing of chocolates, bouquets of flowers, among others, and love souvenirs. Emmanuel Bride Kweku has taken to the streets of Kumasi to explore the sale of Valentine products on the market.
Valentine originated as a Western Christian feast honoring an early saint named Valentinus. On a special day, in many parts of the world, chocolates, flowers, teddy bears and champagnes are the common gifts shared. But are the exchanges of these Valentine gifts still in vogue? I'm not really concerned about Valentine's Day. If you love someone, you should give them presents, not only on this day.
Someone bought me presents last year.
I don't have time. I'm hot.
We have actually overrated it. Look at this on the street right now. Nobody cares about what is going on.
Interesting. So some views from Kumasi. Yes, well, MNJ is here. Jackie, you are just from the Labadi Beach Hotel. We're getting ready for proposal. Am I getting proposed to?
Well, you could be there tonight. We don't know who that lucky person is going to be tonight. But well, I was there earlier. Preparation is underway. Proposal GH, and they are setting up the place with flowers, lights, and all that. Apparently there are some other proposals ongoing there apart from the Joy FM proposal. So today looks like more than 5 people are going to get proposed today.
That's good. That's good. And what else is trending?
Well, Save Ghana Football. There are people who are also having demonstration online. So they've been expressing their opinions about it. But Ken has also been trending because of the reshuffling. So people have been expressing their thoughts about it. Some people are of the opinion that it's too late, and others are saying that someone says that 90 plus 7 minutes substitution pioneer. Well, let's see what happens.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. All you need to know about the reshuffle right there. Also, we know that we'll test Baumia's sincerity in tax removal stance amongst others is on myjoyonline.com. We have Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otebo up next. I am MFA.